for the clouds fly me away. Wait in the fire, wait in the fire. Drop my name, easy to know. Wait in the fire. Sorry, got too caught up. Hello everyone, welcome to New Music Friday. Lovely time of the week when we get a bunch of batches of new music. I had one person in mind this entire day, but as the day went on, I found out that there is actually a second person I had to be aware of. The first person that was on my mind already, we're going to be looking at first, because we're going to be looking at Mitski's new album. Nothing is about to happen to me. Nothing's about to happen to me. The other person that we're gonna have to look at later tonight is Bruno Mars's The Romantic. I thought it was gonna be the week after this, but no. Nope. I'm bad with timing, I guess. Spotify has this little new music playlist, but there are multiple new music playlists you can find, but obviously Bruno and Mitski are at the top. But technically, this will be my first ever Mitski album. I've heard of Mitski before. Obviously, I know her from that huge song that you probably heard from social media too. You know, the one big hit, the My Love, Mine All Mine. 'Cause my love is mine all mine. Yeah, that song. Yeah, if you know, that's a pretty big Mitski song if you don't know. But other than that, and like the two singles that she released in the lead up to this album, I've really been in the dark about Mitski. I knew slightly about her existence, but I've never really made the effort to go listen to an album until tonight. So yes, everything out of this discography here, never touched. I really don't know much about Mitski other than the fact that she's Japanese. Hey yo. And that she didn't want to be a J-pop idol. You know, I really can't put Mitski to a certain genre because, like, for one, she makes songs like this where it's like indie, country, pop, and then you hear a song like Where's My Phone and it's like this weird, addicting, avant-garde rock song. So it's like, I honestly don't know what a Mitski is. I honestly don't know what to really expect genre-wise on this album specifically. Don't know how else to preface this, but I'm kind of going in blind. Kinda. I mean, I feel like we all know a Mitski. We all know about who Mitski is, but I feel like, I guess for formality's sake, we can just go over the genius bio of her. Mitsuki Miyawaki, born September 20th, 1990 in Mie Prefecture, Japan, known mononymously as Mitski, is a Japanese-American singer-songwriter based in the United States. Born to an American father and a Japanese mother, Mitski first imagined a future in film after enrolling at Manhattan's Hunter College, but music pulled her elsewhere, transferring to SUNY Purchase's Conservatory of Music. She studied studio composition and met her longtime collaborator and producer, Patrick Hyland. While still a student at Purchase, Mitski recorded and self-released her first two albums, Lush on January 31st, 2012, serving as her junior year project, and her senior year project, retired from SAD, new career in business in 2013. Full visual album arranged with the help of a 60-piece student orchestra, each song paired with its own music video. Briefly fronted the experimental prog metal band Voice Coils before returning to her own work. Her third album, Bury Me at Makeout Creek, released on November 11, 2014, and with it came a radical shift from the orchestral sound of her first two albums. Okay, this doesn't really help me, but, you know, I guess she's pretty much lived an interesting life. I'm sure the Spotify bio probably would help too, but I'm too lazy. So, let's get into the album lore, I guess. Following the global success of Japanese-American singer-songwriter Mitski's seventh studio album, The Land Is Inhospitable and So Are We, Nothing's About to Happen to Me tells the story of a reclusive woman in an unkempt house. Outside of her home, she is a deviant. Inside of her home, she is free. After nearly 3 years of silence following her last studio album, Mitski took to social media on January 13, 2026, teasing the album in a series of Instagram posts alongside its release date on February 27, 2026, with Mitski reuniting with her frequent collaborator Patrick Hyland. The album's lead single, Where's My Phone, was released alongside a music video inspired by the premise of Shirley Jackson's short novel We Have Always Lived in the Castle on January 16, 2026. The album's second single, I'll Change For You, a very different sound, self-described as a song about being pathetic. Shit, I guess that's good enough for me. So yeah, Where's My Phone? I'll get into it later, but there's just a point of it where it's just so addicting that I've had it on repeat for like the entire lead up to this day. I'll Change For You, you know, it's very much in that same vein of like the big hit, the My Love, you know, the slow burn songs, and you know, maybe I'll get all of that in one Mitski album. Maybe it'll lean towards one of those sides heavily. Don't know, but I will be open-minded to this ride, because I don't know how else to prepare for the Mitski album. So usually I would listen to like other albums in the lead up to this, but you know, sometimes you just gotta get the first one out on a video. That's just the content brain in you, you know. Is what it is. A lovely album cover with the cat with the two different colored eyes. A lot of people saying it's homophobia, and I will not fact check it. Fact check it. I know there's also a little bit of a tiger somewhere on the side. Yeah, or a cat. Maybe it's another cat. Orange cat activities, you know, type shit. Alright, I'm gonna stop stalling because it's already a 20-minute intro. Jesus Christ. Nothing's about to happen to me. Mitski, February 27th, 2026, 11 songs, 34 minutes, 34 minutes, 27 seconds. Track number 1, In a Lake. Okay, here's a little bit of that folkness. Small town, okay. Written up in your place. Okay. Get away from your first love. Oh, okay. It's like your first time around. Okay, Mitski. Lake you can backstroke. Some days you just go the law. Bad people act worse. The dark behind. Okay. Big city. Okay. Whoa. Holy shit. Okay, we're getting a lot of, well, we're getting slight big band stuff, with the orchestral stuff. Maybe she's tapping into her OG sound. Let's go! As a longtime Mitski fan, I can't wait for that to happen. Anyway, so first off of it, we can definitely still see that like folk, country-ish, I guess indie side of Mitski coming out, and then I was gonna mention it before the like slight burst of sound that came onto my ears. I got a little bit hint of Adrienne Lenker, because I did listen to like Bright Future. I did like some of those songs, and you know, another country folk artist that I can kind of see it. Yeah, that's what that's like one artist that came to mind while I was listening to this song. That's kind of the artist I kind of felt like I could get a grasp of, but obviously it's still a first impression. Anything could happen from here. But oh wow, this talk about not living in a small town because you made too many mistakes. I can kind of understand that, because if you're in like a small area, the pro and con is that everyone can know everyone, and the community gets very tight knit. Of course, like if you are willing to harmonize with the community, you know, peacefully and not really cause any sort of, you know, shifts or rifts in between your relationships within the community, you know, I think that could be a very, very nice thing. But you know, I feel like Mitski, from the songs I have heard, she does seem to talk about love or relationships a lot, or very prominently and very good. you know, if you have made mistakes with relationships around this small town, word gets around quickly, people know people, and it just starts to get muddier and muddier. I had a talk with a friend about like how, say, like the dating scene in Hawaii is a little, I don't know, take this with a grain of salt, right? We are very single men. We try our best. This sounds really bad already, but anyways, like Hawaii is a very small state, right? And pretty much everyone knows everyone. The state is very small compared to other places around in the mainland states. So it's like you really figure out how small this island is once you make a lot of friends and realize how close they are in, you know, proximity to you, your friends, or your friends' friends. You know, I'm basically just saying that this is a very small island, and take that situation of a tight-knit community however you feel like it, you know. Being friends in a state like Hawaii is probably way different than being in friends in states like California or Texas or even goddamn New York, you know. Proximity can play a huge role in your bridges, I guess. Anyway, what a nice way to open us up. I liking it. Track 2, very much a rougher direction in Where's My Phone? Where did it go? Where's my phone? Where'd I go? A woman always on the street to be a clear glass with nothing in my head. Like, I don't know, that part is just very addicting. The way she sings it, the way it's exuded, the chord change, you know? Clear glass with nothing instead. And then little orchestral hits. Where I go. Hell yeah, sister. Glass with nothing going on. Clear wax melted in the dome. Pop, 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 pop. It's starting to melt the fuck away, cause Mitski's just, I don't know what Mitski is, man. Demented guitar solo. Yeah, very different sounding songs, you know. When I first heard this single, I was very much intrigued because it's like this little rocking tune, but it just builds and builds. There's like a slight, or not a slight, but there's just bits of unhingedness in there that just makes me a little addicted to it. Like, if it was just like a straight up rock song, you know, maybe it still would have been fine, but it's like, I think the just uneasiness of how the song builds up or like evolves into, I don't know, I think I just find it really interesting, especially if you watch the music video for this song too. The whole like chaotic nature, the fast pace, you know, shots, the unorthodox movements or like pacing in the music video. I don't know, I think Mitski's mind is just very interesting, man. From these first impressions I've been getting from Mitski, it's just a very interesting mind that she is, very interesting creative mindset that she has going on right now. But I am starting to see this sort of world building that she's making, because it seems like she's very much in this naturistic folklore world. I don't know if that's always been the case, but I can kind of see where the setting is here. I wish she could find her phone. I don't know if they have phones in the woods or in this small city, but hopefully she can find it soon, because it looks, you know, it sounds like she's going crazy the more she doesn't have her phone. What does that say about today's world, huh? Unreviewed annotation, by the way. Searching for devices and vices, bar. Where's My Phone is the lead single off Mitski's 8th studio album, Nothing's About to Happen to Me. The song tackles disassociation from the pressuring society and mental health struggles that worsen with each day. The singer is desperately trying to clear out the noises as they intensify as the song progresses, eventually succumbing to the sound at the end. The song and the music video was released on January 26, 2026, as well as the album's announcement. The music video, directed by Noel Powell, was inspired by the Shirley Jackson novel We Have Always Lived in the Castle, where Mitski takes on the role of a paranoid woman in a gothic house who is trying to protect her sister. And if you've seen the video, that is pretty much the truth. A very uneasy sounding song, but I like it. I like it. I think it just hooks me. The little like changes in the song just keep me coming back. Good earworm. Good earworm, Mitski. But now we can move on. Next track. Track number 3. Cats. Never had a cat, but we'll see. Still keep it in that. Thanks, Mitski. Oh, okay. Hello? Okay, true. Dude, the song sounds so soothing, man. What? Oh, okay. Huh. She feels very much at ease in this song. Almost like a, you know, I'm accepting letting go kind of thing. Okay. Still a very soothing song though. Next track, If I Leave. Is this what happens if she does leave? 1, 2, 3. Mitski, you're kind of putting me on edge here, man. What are we building up towards? Okay. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Mitski rock songs. We fucking love that. Very much contradicting the previous track about feeling at ease or accepting her lover leaving her. Especially with this one feeling very much in that same vein of Where's My Phone, where it's very uneasy, very rocking, little outbursts of musical sound. Distorted sound. Yeah, Mitski just feels very, I guess, very paranoid. Like the last annotation says, she feels very unsure of her choices or her relationship kind of stuff, which will probably either keep setting the tone for the rest of the album, or I don't fucking know. Maybe Mitski finally taps into the J-pop sound. That probably will not happen in this album, but anything's possible. Track number 5, Dead Woman. Dead Women? Dead Women. Sorry, there's multiple of them. Okay. 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 Very interesting question there, Mitski. Mentioning that lake again. What? Okay then. What? Is Mitski usually this graphic? This is what happens when you only know it from the hits, I guess. Okay, but it's kind of this instrumentation though. I mean, I'm still fucking with this song, but I don't know why I didn't expect something like this lyrically. Very interesting. I like it though. Track 6. Instead of here. Is this Abyss a lake again? Nope. I don't think there's doors on the lake. Could be a bathtub. Oh. Jeez. Stupid ass bug. Sorry, Mitski. Okay, wow, yeah. You can tell lyrically, Mitski is very much showcasing a grim mindset. A lot of talk about isolation, shutting yourself out from the world, you know, kind of just holding yourself in response to trauma or mistakes or past relationships, whatever Mitski's already been mentioning beforehand. Very grim ways of looking at it, especially in the graphic nature of Dead Woman, or in here instead of here, where she'd rather just stay in her little hole, stay in the dirt, stay in the abyss, rather than talk about it with someone or try to overcome it. I get, and there are times where you just want to just stay holed up, be able to just dread in your thoughts. I get it. I completely get it. She just showcased it in like these very mellow instrumentations. It's like, wow, she really makes me want to feel this shit, huh? I'm looking at the Genius comments, and one of them literally says, "Me too, Yowie. Me too." Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, man. Mitski is our true leader in Yaoi content. That sounded... I'm so sorry, Mitski. I would never say something like that ever again. But yeah, what a very nice track. Not nice emotionally or lyrically wise, but a very nice track. Track number 7. I'll Change For You. Oh, this is another single, by the way. Listen to that string. It's so true, man. Sorry. They say they're close like a kid. Don't I have this song added already? I do. Okay. I was about to say, man. I remember loving this track when I first heard it. Hey, the little guitar lines? Okay, buddy. Another great single from her. I guess I just get it. She just knows how to make these very somber, spacey-ish tracks that just make you indulge in the sadness and the emotion. It's just something that you just have to like just sit there and wallow in almost. I'm sure for those who have experienced heartbreak or being desperate to keep a love, I'm sure a lot of these might become very much tearjerkers for you and its relatability. I mean, like, Mitski's really good at showcasing the emotions associated with situations like this, and those who just either experienced it or know people who have experienced it, I guess it's a good way to be letting it out emotionally, therapeutically, that kind of stuff. All that fun jazz. I mean, look at what Genius says. By stating that I'll Change For You is meant to come down to the listener's level, Mitski allows the listeners to fully indulge in their sadness. The track's style is inspired by bossa nova, aiming to acknowledge the darkness of the world while gently making space for it rather than denying it. Mitski's self-awareness of her memory seems almost distant as she offers these moments to the listener while remaining wary of their emotional exposure, afraid they may be turned back on her. I just wanted to write a song about being pathetic. Hell yeah, dude. I think everyone should get a chance to be in their feelings. Drunk call their ex, beg them to take them back, say, I'll change for you, I'll do anything. There should be a song for that. Okay. I mean, the song is pretty literal. I won't get into personal stuff, but it was a weak moment for me. And I was like, there should be a song for this, because when you're going through a breakup or heartbreak of any kind, what I realized is when you're in the moment, you want a song that comes down to your level. You don't want a song that's like, Wait, what? Sorry, Mitski. You don't want a song that's like, you want a song like, oh, By Myself. You want a song that's just like, I'm so sad and I wanted to write that kind of song for that moment. And also wanted to convey a feeling of like actually being maybe in a nice bar. And I wanted the music to convey the kind of music that might be playing in that bar scene while you're really sad. So I kind of hit a bit of a bossa nova feeling to it. Okay, and there's a lot more that you can kind of see, but yeah, basically. Another artist that I just thought of in my mind when it comes to this type of music, And this is gonna maybe sound racist, but it's okay because I'm also Japanese. Japanese breakfast, because is it a band or is it just one singular woman? Someone fact check that for me, but I'm gonna just say they released an album last year, and it was literally called "Sad Songs for Lesbians." No, I know it had brunettes in the title. There we go, for melancholy brunettes and sad women. As you remember what I said in the Good Stuff 2025 list, I'm not a brunette or a woman, but I can be sad. I guess that sort of emotion can be conveyed when it comes to stuff like mitski. I don't know if mitski and Japanese breakfast have been compared or associated with each other before. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're both Japanese. It's the fact that they're great artists, okay? And if you thought it was because we're all Japanese, then fuck you. But yeah, I can definitely feel that sort of expression conveyed through both of their albums so far. Also, sorry, adding into this whole mitski point, another artist that I forgot to mention that I was very much reminded of them was Black Country New Road. I listened to their latest album. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure the light isn't too in the way, but I listened to their latest album with the new singer and whatnot, that whole jazz, whatever released last year. But yeah, that also folk country sound also does remind me of what mitski had on that album. And it's of course, I'm all just basically making an umbrella term with pigeonholing everyone into like that folklore country style, but it's like, yeah, it's not like mitski's a completely foreign artist or sound to me. It's like I'm seeing a bunch of similarities to other good artists that I've been, listening to lately, and it's just cool to see. And I just wanted to shout out Black Country New Road, even though I forgot to do it in the actual OBS recording, because my god, that Black Country New Road album, Forever How Long, god, I should have listened to it before I started the good stuff list video. But here's what it is. Shout out to Black Country New Road, and shout out to mitski and everyone else I mentioned in that video. And yeah, I'm liking it. Well, if I want to indulge in those thoughts, then yes, this will be very fun. But next track number 8, Rules. I'll just change for you. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's go! Mitski's teaching us how to count. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll be dressed. Let's go! We don't need the Beatles anymore. Hell yeah! Disassociation. Okay, horns. Okay, horns. What the helly? What the hellski? Holy. Thank you, mitski. 8, 9. Shut up, Adobe. Fucking idiots. Let's go! I love counting. Track number 9. Number 9. That white cat. Not that fucking white cat, dude. Can we get a track about the orange cat and just be fucking straight up heavy metal? Okay. 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 Okay, here we go with those like anthemic yaws. Yeah. Oh, relatable, dude. Yep. Okay. This like melody line sounds very familiar. Joy to the world. Da, 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 da. Look at this drum pattern though. Shout out to the drummer. A people-pleasing equivalence or an analogy for having to pay rent to that white cat. The song's describing the need to keep up with other people's quirks and energy in order to hold on to a temporary residence. The song's main topic is asking if anything's going on to stay with her, or in other words, if her love's all hers. Huh. Very interesting stuff going on in Mitski camp right now. You know what, since we're asking interesting questions, you know, Mitski, and everyone else watching, when you sneeze and like you're wiping your nose, do you like it better when it's like filled with mucus, you know, like during those times when you're like sick? Or do you like it when you're not sick and it's just full of boogers? Good question. Can't believe we have a track titled after the album cover. Let's fucking go. Unless this cat isn't white and I'm just colorblind. Loving the drum pattern on this one. Like I said, shout out to whatever's wrong with the drummer and whatever's wrong with Mitski. That was pretty cool. But let's see how this second to last track is. Track 10, Charon's Obol? Damn, 22 million monthly listeners. That Mitski motion, baby. Dogs. Gathered? Makima? Fuck you, Makima. Sorry, I've been reading Chainsaw Man. A little behind, but slowly catching up. Sorry, I just had to do it. You know, I just had to go on this little tangent. Yeah, sorry, I am reading Chainsaw Man. I'm slowly catching up there. Ever since I saw that like little trailer about season 1 being adapted, or like the manga finally being adapted into an anime, and seeing, you know, good propaganda about Makima, you know. Who wouldn't like her, right? Right? I mean, like, come on. But obviously, seeing how she acts in the season and the Reze arc movie, you know, it's starting to get a little bit more suspicious and weary of Makima's true intentions and goals. I remember I saw the panel of her toting or smoking a cigarette, and I thought it looked super tough. Very tough. And I tweeted, it's like, that was fucking tough. There's no way she's that evil in the manga. Easiest setup in my fucking life. I've read it. I've known what happens. I know what happens to that birthday cake, and I am like, this is this is bad. this is bad. So to every Makima hater out there, I owe you some form of an apology, I guess. To all the Makima propagandists, keep working at it. You might win me back over sometime soon. Fuck yeah. But yeah, Chainsaw Man, pretty good. Hopefully. I don't know. I haven't caught up with part 2 yet, so hopefully I don't have to set myself up for that one later on too, but let's just say part 1 was freaking good. But yeah, shout out to Makima. I know you're looking up at us right now, and you are having the time of your life with every single devil in hell. So rest with no peace, I guess. Shout out to Denji. Looking for Denji. Looking for Benji. Anyway, sorry, Mitski. Mitski-ma! Sorry, was that offensive to Mitski? I'm so sorry, Mitski.
Keeping vigil in the feeding on.
Okay, orchestras.
That's when she first saw them out the cave of the girl. It was stigmatized, feeding all the.
Charon's Obol unravels a mystifying story of a woman who pays tributes to the dead via feeding the hounds of dead women. After buying a house, the main character has been given a role of a caretaker for the dogs in the house. The title refers to the Greek deity of Charon. Charon? Obols are an ancient coin thought to have been offered by the families of the bereaved as payment or tribute to Charon for ferrying their loved ones home to the underworld. Underworld is crazy. The title of the song suggests a theme of mortality and what we leave behind when we're gone, as well as what we might, in theory, take with us. Sadie Lochner says, it seems she implies the dogs murdered their previous owner. Murder is a common symbol for love and sex, but in this case, it could also be a symbol for an incident possibly due to the nature of a pack of dogs. She could be saying that she almost died from something that killed the past partners of the pack of dogs, but decided to take care for them. Very interesting stuff is happening. You know, Mitski tapped into some Greek lore? Some Greek folklore? Holy. Okay. Let's see how Mitski ends off this album in a few years. Track number 11 out of 11, Lightning.
Lightning hits so like a tin can.
Yep.
Running like ghosts. We've been played by. Could I come again if I'm dark?
Okay.
I hold the song. The song of my death. Oh Lord.
Marco. And with that, that is it. That's Mitski's album. That's my first Mitski album. Claps and snaps for the lovely artist. Another track that very much goes over the topic of death and even reincarnation. The songness doesn't end here. It doesn't end on a, well, I guess it somewhat ends on a high-ish note if you want it to be. If she wants to fulfill her wishes of reincarnating into rain or darkness, it's very much still in that vein of almost like, you know, with water and whatnot, if we're on that topic of drowning in your sorrows, drowning in that sadness. It feels like even after in death she doesn't feel like it's very satisfying almost. I think even on Genius here it feels like when death happens that nothing happens, which feels very reasonable considering about what the album title sounds like here, like as what it says here with the last verse. This Genius annotation says, ironic to the album's title, Mitski believes that something is about to happen to her. That something is death, as it's playing out a scene where the lightning strikes her with its bolt and she dies as the thunder roars. The album title can also refer to the concept of death, the idea of death as nothingness. With her death, literally nothing happens to her. The album ends with the singer's life, or that they've been succumbed to their paranoia and will await death for the rest of their life. So you can really interpret it multiple ways. Yeah, you can also put it in the sense of like, nothing's about to happen to me, you're being paranoid kind of stuff, or I don't know, you can, it also plays into that sort of branch about mental illness or you know, bad headspaces and whatnot like that. It's like you can kind of interpret it how you want to. There's like certain set branches that you can kind of make your way towards or make your pathway from, but very much overarching, general, summarizing themes, messages of sadness, sorrow, and heartbreak. Yeah, I guess we can get into it. That was my first Mitski album. That was Nothing's About to Happen to Me. Wow. What an album. Probably a bad album to play late at night when you're just there with your own thoughts, but maybe it's the perfect album to play to, you know, I guess somewhat get it all out or find some sort of emotional outlet, because my god, are some of these songs just very, they're just very sad. This is very melancholic, very much for sad people around there, very much for people who are in a very broken state. There are tracks about getting desperate, wanting to do whatever it takes to get back my lover, whether it be to either stoop down to a level that's beyond me or, you know, killing, accepting death. A lot of gruesome lyrics or gruesome graphic lyrics, some very interesting choices that Mitski decides to bring upon us, but I guess that also adds to the uniqueness in the style that Mitski brings to her artistic vision kind of stuff. You get like your folk stuff, you get like your rock stuff, you get like your little noise, whatever the fuck thing that she does, and yeah, you can kind of get a general idea of what she sounds like now, but it feels like this still avant-garde mystical idea of an artist, and that just sounds like hella glazed. But there's probably at least one Mitski fan that's like, yep, that's definitely Mitski. She's practically a myth and legend now. Sorry, enough of the glaze, but yeah, it just feels like you feel sorry for Mitski in a way. It's like, it sounds like she's been through a lot of regretful, or at least a lot of situations that would break anyone, or like you have to kind of learn from. Wow, sometimes you just gotta ask, is just Mitski okay? That's just the kind of mood that this type of album brings, and I'm not sure if that's the same thing for every other album that she's made. I don't know if she's made any album that's like at least somewhat uplifting or groovable, but if this is the quintessential Mitski sound, then my goodness, it'll take you for a ride if you're in that sort of headspace to be swept off your feet by the emotions that she brings to the table. Yeah, I guess if you are very much in a vulnerable spot, a very isolated spot, a very drowning spot, you know, I guess Mitski's here to let you take it all out, because my god, just pick any of these songs and it could be tearjerker contending music. Obviously, as someone who hasn't experienced everything Mitski has, I mean, I wasn't really like shedding any tears or anything, but I guess sometimes the music isn't for me. But that's not saying that I did not like the album, of course. I very much did like the album, as you can see, and it was a very, very good album. The rawness and the emotion, the sadness, the themes, all of this is just wow. Like there's not really that much that much uplifting qualities in it. But hey, that's the type of mood Mitski wants to set. That's the type of world, situation, setting Mitski wants to bring us into, and we just gotta accept it and maybe cry. I don't know, but that's the move. That's the Mitski move. Don't really know what else to say. If there's any Mitski album where she does lean more into that like rock stuff, I'm all for it. But from what genres I've heard her dabble in and mesh, I think it's done pretty well. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I just really like this album. It's a really good, nice batch of short, well, not short. It's a nice short length of a project. Hey, half an hour, perfect. That's all I need. With that being said, thank you for watching a Mitski album reaction in the goddamn books. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Watch my other 2026 album reactions if you want to. Watch my non-2026 album reactions if you want to. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what else classifies as a Mitski classic. I guess the Land is Inhospitable might be a good one to check out. I don't know. Puberty 2. Shit. Might as well go through it a second time. Mitski fans, let me know. If you are out there, let me know. Is this the new peak of Mitski discography, or is it just another good showcasing of what she's already been doing, and there are other albums that I could possibly look into, probably off camera, I don't know, that really showcase why Mitski is such a prominent artist, you know, in the modern day. Yeah, I don't know. Very nice addition to the good stuff list for sure. A very sad addition, but very great addition nonetheless. Don't really know what else to say. Glad I finally got a Mitski album underneath my belt, and I can't wait to see what else other music is out there for the year. With that being said, I am now going to end the recording so I can now record my Bruno Mars album reaction, which hopefully the album is good, so I can add 2 good albums to the list in one singular night. Yeah, a lot of music coming in. Shout out to 2026. Shout out to Mitski. Shout out to Patrick Highland. You know, shout out to Pat. Shout out to Pat. My love is mine, oh mine. My love, my mine.